how to set goals and succeed while respecting the principles of slow living lifestyle. Hi everybody, my name is Jana. Welcome back or welcome to my channel. This time of year, YouTube and social media seem to be full of content on how to set goals for the new year, how to succeed. And I started thinking about making a video on this topic because I realized that the weeks before Christmas were pretty busy for me. I even fell back to those old ways of thinking that led me to a burnout a few years ago. And I realized that I can't go back there. I have been practicing new ways, healthier ways of working and trying to reach goals for some years now. But I realized that I'm not there yet. I still have work to do. I still have to practice new ways of thinking and new different ways of trying to reach goals and succeed. So in this video I'm gonna talk about how to set goals in a different way, in a way that allows you to be gentle on yourself. I've heard so much talk about how you just need to push through things, how you need to do whatever it takes in order to succeed. And maybe that works for some people, but I can't do that anymore. If I start just pushing through and trying as hard as I can, I'm quickly noticing that those burnout symptoms that I had, I'm quickly getting them back. And that's why I've been trying to practice new, more gentle ways of working. And in this video, I'm going to share those tips or practices with you. I work in a field that's pretty competitive. I'm a freelance writer, and there are so many other people who want to make a living as writers as well. So the competition is there, it's pretty harsh. But first of all, I need to focus on what I'm doing and not think about too much about what my colleagues are doing. I have spent so much time in my life envying other people, but that never leads to anything good. I have tried to learn to be happy for other people's success. If I see one of my colleagues succeed, well, there might be this initial thought of envy for a while, for a few seconds, but when I recognize it, I just decide to think about how great it is that they have managed to achieve something. Maybe that means that I will achieve the same thing too. And the funny thing about envy is that sometimes we feel envious about things that we don't even want. We just don't want others to have it either, and that doesn't make any sense. So for me, one thing that has helped with envy has been to make it very clear for me what I want. So then it has been easier to notice that actually I don't really even want that thing that the other person has, and it's easier for me to just be happy for them. And even last year I started reaching out to other creatives in my area just to get to know each other and maybe even collaborating in some ways. I feel that helps a lot when you're feeling envious. When you get to know them better, they become your friends and not your enemies. I once heard this phrase, I don't chase, I attract. And I do believe that if we just give out the right kind of energy, we will attract the things that are supposed to come to us. Even though many people see work as competition, especially if you're running your own business and you have to succeed in a world where there are many other people wanting the same thing as you. I have decided to let go of that thought I want to believe that if I just consistently do my own thing, the thing that I'm good at, that has the potential of giving something to other people as well, then that will lead to something. My energy will be noticed, and that will lead to some greater things. Sometimes they are not the things that you wanted. Maybe it's something a bit different. So in that sense, you have to keep an open mind and maybe change your plan along the way. But in any case, I just want to continue doing my thing and believing that there's room in this world for that. There's room for me in this world as well. And if my energy was more like violent, I would just fight my way to whatever it is that I want. Well, maybe that will lead to, and it definitely would lead to, results as well. But I don't know if I want that kind of results. I want to respect others, and I want to stay gentle on myself and on others on the way. A very important thing when trying to learn healthier ways of working has been recognizing my negative self-talk. You know, the voice inside your head that goes on and criticizes you and is constantly telling you what you should do better, and it never ends unless you notice that it's happening and you start to realize that the voice is not necessarily true. It's something that you maybe learned in your childhood, or maybe you learned it from society. It doesn't really matter where it came from. But once you realize that you have that voice and you stop believing in it and you start replacing it with positive thoughts, that helps a lot. And in practice, that means that you take time acknowledging what you have already accomplished instead of just blaming yourself for what you haven't accomplished yet. You start talking to yourself like you would to your best friend. If your best friend fails at something, you don't blame them. You try to encourage them. You try to be nice to them. You try to make them feel better about themselves. And that's something that you should do to yourself too. At least I've found that to be very helpful to myself. I believe that consistency is far more important than fast success. First of all, success doesn't have to come easy or fast. I almost think that it's more valuable if you have to work for it for a while. And for me, in the situation I'm right now, still kind of recovering from the burnout, I don't even want fast success, or I don't want to reach my goals too fast. For example, if something big happened overnight, I don't know if I had the resilience to respond to it. I still need my quiet days. I really appreciate being able to set my own pace. And maybe it will be a slower pace, but in any case, it will bring me towards my goals. One thing I realized recently is that reaching a goal is not the end. Sometimes when you reach a goal, you realize that it's not really what you expected. Maybe you had all these big hopes and dreams, and then you realize that the reality isn't what you expected. That can be disappointing, but it can also be a chance to learn. A friend of mine who is a photographer, he used to cook a lot as his hobby, and during the pandemic he went to a training to become a chef at a restaurant, and now he's working as a part-time chef and a part-time photographer. And he kind of told me that he has no energy to cook in his free time anymore. So that was a reminder for me that sometimes if you decide to make your hobby your occupation, it changes. It's not the same anymore. It doesn't give you the same joy anymore. So in that sense, that's a perfect example of how when you reach your goal, it's not necessarily what you thought it would be. And the truth is, whatever goal you reach, there will always be new obstacles, new hardships, and you still have to continue working. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't have goals or that reaching your goals is a bad thing or anything like that. Of course you should. I think it's just good to remember that it's a process to reach those goals. And sometimes there are disappointments, and it's all life. Sometimes there are unexpected twists and turns and things don't go the way you planned. But it's all good anyway. These are some of the things that I'm trying to keep in mind this year. Being gentle on myself, trying to be more nice to myself, trusting the process and remembering that even if things don't go the way I planned, it's okay. What kind of plans do you have for 2025? Do you have goals that you want to achieve? Or maybe you are just having a quiet year and you don't have that many goals for this year. Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Bye bye.